So, welcome. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create the Paris Olympic climbing wall in Revit and Grasshopper. Now, on my website, you can download all the files that you need for this tutorial for free. So links to that will be in the description below. If you have any requests, feel free to comment below and ask me what you want. My email address is also in the description, so that is available also. One of the cool things you'll be able to download is these layer base jacks, which are fully parametric. So we can say extend 100. We can change the beam size that it's for. So, there we go. So for a 406, it's there and it's like perfectly aligned to a 406. It doesn't align to this one obviously because it's for the 305. You can also change the jack at the base, so the taller one, and you can change the square hollow section size, and it will stay in line. Obviously that's a very dramatic one, but yeah. So go download that if you need that. So the challenge here is, this is the Olympic climbing wall. We want to make the deck in this video. The ground that it's on is variable, so that's a problem for the deck. The deck has to be perfectly flat. But as you can see, if we type EL for elevation, the level here is -31 and the level here is like -300. So it's dropping from up here down there. We don't need to worry about the ditch, but just to get your bearings, this ditch here is over there, so you can see how that aligns. Now, the conventional way of doing it is to place everything down in plan view, as I have done for you here. We have our jacks and we have the support for the jacks. In fact, let me break it down further. I haven't fully explained what we need to do. So we need a deck supported by these beams, and these beams are supported by these variable jacks, and these jacks are supported by these planks. But the question is, how do we know how tall the planks have to be so that we can order the parts to send to the builders? We need to know how tall they are so that we know how many to send, because we know how many jacks to send, but we don't know how many planks to send. Now these have been modeled as a block, but in real life they're individual planks, 100 thick, and we'll stack them on top of each other and then rest these jacks on top of those and then put the beam down and weld these to the beam, and that creates a nice level beam which can create a nice level deck. So the challenge, as I said, is to find out how tall the planks have to be so that we can order the correct number of parts and send them over. That's where Grasshopper comes in, because in real life, as I've shown here, I've placed all of these down. I can extend by 100 or whatever, and I'd have to like measure every single scenario where we go from this point to the topo, and I mean there's quite a lot here to do. That's a waste of my time, it's a waste of everyone's time, because it's not just about measuring and changing, it's also about calculating the maximum number of planks, because they have to be rounded to 100. To do that for each, it's quite long, and it's not just these, there's some over here as well, and there's some on these as well which I haven't included. So that's where Grasshopper comes in. I will launch my script. I'll start with jack heights. Now the best thing about this is that once this is made, as it has been now, you can apply this to multiple projects in the future, and I'll get onto the other benefit in a minute. Let's just get to action. So I've opened it and it's running, and you can see that it's calculated a bunch of stuff in a minute. there you go. All of the jacks have been updated. So that one is at 200, which is different to this one, which is at 57. So 200 is the maximum extension that it can go for this particular jack, and 57 is like, for this one didn't need to be fully extended, so it's shorter. Now the question is, how tall do the planks have to be to support that? So now I'll open my second script. These can be done in one single script, but I did it in two just to make it easier. And there we go, they're all adapted. And so that's done. If we go back to section 3, boom. This is the one we're looking at up close. Let's change that section because it's looking too far forward. How do I cut it back? Anyway, I'm not going to worry too much about that. Basically, we're looking at the one in the foreground and the one in the background. So this section, it's cut somewhere here, and we're looking at these ones as well as the ones further forward. This view isn't showing everything, so don't worry too much about that. But basically, everything's in there. And they're perfectly aligned. And so it saved a lot of time. That would have taken hours, days, whatever. This is like instant. And the beauty of it is this. We can now go to a section view, and let's just say the client says, you know what, I don't want it at, I'll delete that. Oh, cancel. I don't want it at a level of 840 anymore. I want it at a level of 740. No problem. Oh, we also have the schedule here, so we have the exact heights of those packing things. And so in real life, we would round these up. We don't need to worry about the jack height data in that scenario. We just need to know the packing. The jacks can be adjusted on site, but the tables here, we can export to Excel. We can even do the calculation within Grasshopper, which I did, but I've cancelled because I didn't want to make the video too long and too confusing with the jack heights and things. Yeah, so now you can see everything's gone down. So let's look at it. Let's watch the action in section view. Let's get a good view like that. Good. So first things first, we open our jack heights ting, hit play. Oh, nice. I don't know what the problem is here. No, it's fine. The extension is good. Now we open the document, the block heights one. So that happens sometimes. It goes orange, but it still does the task. And look, boom, done. So yeah, it goes orange, which is a warning that something needs to be adjusted somewhere. But in general, it's not really a problem. It's only if it doesn't do what you want, then you have to investigate. But in this scenario, because there's a lot of parameters, it might have... yeah, it turns out it's perfectly fine. Ah, I know what it is. It's because it was too low. Yeah, in real life, it broke. So let's just say the client wanted it higher. See, what happened was it was too low, and the family is built to be a certain height, and the script was not working So let's just say, yeah, in that scenario it would have been impossible to use the jacks at all. So again, we can run it again, jack heights. And yeah, it's taking some time, but this is a lot less time than hold on a sec. Let me just close everything down. You have to do that sometimes. And then open again. So jack heights. Yeah. Oh, there we go. It's working. Off and on again type situation. So now open that. Block heights. Brilliant. And you can see the one in the distance is slightly higher because it's aligned so perfectly. And then we have our schedule all updated for 940. The other thing is we could actually get a completely new topo surface, and let's just say new data comes in, or we didn't have the topo in the beginning, but we could set up the drawing, start making it and designing it without worrying about the data. We could temporarily make it flat and then have our script just run everything in the last minute, and then we've got our schedule here, and then we just round these numbers up to the nearest 100, export to Excel, whichever, and there we go. That's that done. Saves a lot of time, saves a lot of money, and yeah, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and feel free to download any of the files from my website. Done. Link in the description below, of course.